Hello everyone. Welcome to application and web security class. Today I'm going to explain server functionality. In the previous video, I have explained regarding HTTP headers, then the cookies, then status code, different status codes. When we get response from the server, like we get different numbers. So each number will say different carry different information. Then HTTP proxies, then HTTP authentication. In today class, I'm going to start with the web functionality. In this thing, uh, the main concept regarding earlier what we used to do is we are going for static page retrieval. Whenever the world wide web has been designed, that time it is only concentrate on the static pages, like we're going to send the request to the server for only access the pages which are required, that contain only HTML and images, or you can say the multimedia documents. But now the user request to send to the server in form of dynamic resources, like they are created, they are not available earlier. They have to design the new things as per user requirement, or you can say that the response is created on the fly. Means that dynamically we are going to create a request, we are going to create the responses based on the different request accepted from the client, and each user may receive the content that is uniquely customized for him based on his different requirement. uh, the server will give the proper response to him. For example, one client man ask for the PHP page, some may be asking for the page by using Visual Basics, then .NET, and then different framework they are making use of to obtain different content from the server of their own choice. In such case, we go for dynamic functionality. Uh, then how to send the parameters to the in the URL as a request to the server, that will be defined in the next slide. Like we are going to send the different parameters by making use of query string. And in the previous class, what I told, in the file path, I'm going to specify the only required content, like the path folder, then followed by what kind of request I'm asking for. Like it is user ID specific with uh, PHP header, like that. We are going to specify. I am going to asking for the server with the PHP response. That time we can specify in the rest. And along with that, in the HTTP cookies also, we can asking for the dynamic content. Uh, in the body of the request using the post method. In the post method means a post method carries data that will be encrypted form, because if someone want to access the data that will be in the post method, uh, he cannot able to retrieve it, because server follows some encryption techniques in order to overcome vulnerability. Okay, so different types of languages that are used by the server is PHP, Visual Basic Script, and Perl. Similarly, we are having web application softwares like ASP.NET and Java. Then web servers, as we know, we are using Apache, then Netscape. These all things will, for database, we are using MS SQL, Oracle, and MySQL. And for the backend components like SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol. These all things we'll see in the upcoming slide. Okay. Then uh, in the server side, in order to retrieve the data from the server, we make use of a Java platform. It is the very well-known software application that was initially developed by Sun Microsystem, and later it has been given it to Oracle. And it is mainly used for modular development and code reusing capabilities. The main operating system it works is on Windows, Linux, and Solaris. Okay, these are different operating system that supports Java platforms. Then Java features are different, like enterprise Java Beans, that is mainly concentrate on business applications. Okay, there some authentication should be provided. Like we are going to create a enterprise resource planning. In such cases we go for EJB. Then plain old Java object is mainly used for the beginner, where they just want to create a small application by using the framework, and they are little vulnerability because of not using much authentication. So anyone can able to access the data which is designed by someone else. Okay. Then last one, a Java servlet. Servlet is mainly used for data transmission between client and the server, that too in terms of HTTP. Okay, so these kind of this will make use of while creating an interface between the front end and the back end. That time we go for Java servlet. Then Java web container. So as we know, Apache Tomcat is an well-known web server that contain lot of the built-in functions like uh, uh, third-party software. It contains some embedded component. So user no need to install the required software to develop their application. Already many all the required functionalities like JDK kit, Java 2 Enterprise Edition components, all are installed in that Apache Tomcat. So whenever user want to develop a new web new application, that time directly go with the Apache Tomcat. No need to collect the different software to design it. Then in order to provide the authentication, we make use of different features like JAS, uh, then AC ACI. You can say that Java to SDK will be provided for the JAS software. Then ACEGI software will make use of Spring framework that will provide different layer of encapsulation so that we can provide authentication to our data. Then in order to represent the presentation layer, we make use of different software like site mesh and tape stray. Then database object related mapping will be given by the Hibernate software. Then in order to provide the logging mechanism and all, we go for Log4j. There are few softwares are there that contain all these softwares built in a single platform. So we can go for only that. If you install that software, all these will be installed automatically. Then ASP.NET after Java, the next the software designing platform we make use of .NET. Earlier they are used to design the applications by making use of Java, but nowadays we are making use of a .NET framework. It provides a virtual machine and set of powerful APIs. Like application program interface are they have provided new application so that user need to design his own application without need of the script. Like it is say that rather than script based approach, like if you want to design your framework, that time we require first you have to write the script. Once you execute the script, then only we get our design. But here it is not the case. Without knowing the script, by using Visual Studio and all, we can design our front end by using ASP.NET. Okay. Then PHP. PHP is the earlier we make use of. We can say that personal homepage, or you can say that hypertext preprocessors. Then that contain MySQL. Then LAMP. LAMP is an software bundle. Here each term indicate that Linux, then Apache, then MySQL and PHP. These are the applications that all together stored in a single software bundle. Then in order to represent the different applications, we make use of like bulletin boards for PHP and PHP Nuke are the two different software that are used to create bulletin boards. Then for the front end, administrative front end, we make use of MyAdmin. To send the webmail, we make use of Squirrel Mail and Iloha Mail. Then for creating the photo galleries, we require an gallery software. For shopping carts, we make use of OS Commerce. Then for create by providing that pages can contain lot of information, then we go for wikis. So these are different framework for designing different applications. Then Ruby and Rails. These are mainly considered to be the model view controller architecture. So whenever you are going to create any application, first you want to know that whether whatever the idea we presenting, whether it works properly or not. In such case, we go for uh, providing all the parameters to the Ruby and Rails. It will create an view. By using that view, we can identify that whether it is able, whether our software will works properly or not, or you can make use of the load balancing software. Like if few of the architecture or civil people can make use of this software for checking that whether their model view is properly carry out the task or not. Okay. Uh, the next is SQL. SQL is structured query language. All we know, it will mainly used for adding, updating, deleting the information to the database. Uh, SQL queries can be written as select star from where, means that if you want to retrieve the data from the database, you can make use of some queries. Okay, like you have taken select email from the user, like where you have to specify. Then in order to implement the uh, SQL functionality, SQL queries are to be executed by a backend database. So SQL always will to fetch from the front end that are available where in the database. They always seem to be in the backend places. So and at same time, if any person want to attack the, or if you want to retrieve the data from the database, he can add the new structure to the SQL, and he can easily able to access it. Not to make it secure one, you have to encrypt your uh, query before transmitting to the server. Then XML, extensible markup language. It is an as the name indicates, it used for the markup languages, like we are going to provide encryption and all. And most of the time it is used for finding the data type. Whenever we create an HTML document, we are simply provide all the values, like we are providing the phone number, names, then email ID with special symbols and all, but we are not specify the data type. In order to provide the data type for the each of the content, we make use of XML, and we can encrypt our content by making use of these tags. So all the child tags are embedded inside the parent tag, so that we can encapsulate those data. Then web services. Okay, the most commonly used application protocol is that simple object access protocol. Okay? During the transmission of data from uh, client to the server, in between that, in order to access the data, we make use of SOAP, that embedded with XML format. uh, so SOAP is mainly used for accessing the data from the backend system, or you can say that from the database we are going to fetch the data by using this SOAP application. Okay, similar, just like an SQL, here also while retrieving the data, the by using the new credential, someone else can able to get it. Then client side functionality, these are the very well known things we already know, like HTML, hyperlinks. These are all created from the client side. Till now what we have seen, what all softwares are used in the web servers, and how to send the response to the client by using different software, how to database will be managed from the software like MySQL and all. But how to create the functionality from the client side, that will be available, like HTML, hyperlinks, forms. Then hyperlinks will be obtained from fetching the data from others. These all things we know already in the web technologies. Just go through them. Uh, in the next video, I'm going to explain the encoding schemes. That is the last bit of the second module. Okay. So go through the client side functionality, because these are well known things we already know. Just follow them in the textbook. Remaining things I covered in the next video. And in the interaction class, I'm going to solve the queries. So all of you just go through the video first. Thank you.